That's where we're going?
Where you go?
Now we're going to the blind.
Oh my gosh! Now that's a greeting. That's a greeting. What's up, everybody? Hey, Brian Tong here, and it is late. It's almost 10 o'clock, and I would not be doing this video if I was not so hyped from just getting out of the Apple Vision Pro demo experience. I got to go hands-on with it. I got to experience about roughly maybe a 45 minute demo one-on-one with it. Obviously, we did not get any footage that we could show you from inside it, but I needed to tell you about this because I'll tell you right now, this video might sound like someone who's a fanboy. This video might sound like someone who was injected with drugs to talk like this. I can tell you, I have not been compromised in any way. I mean, it's always an amazing time when Apple releases a new product, but the Apple Vision Pro is the truth. The technology is there. My mind is blown. I've never experienced anything like it, and this is one of those products that you have to experience for yourself for you to believe what I'm saying, but I'm giddy. So what I'm gonna do is I have my phone here and at least some notes because there's so many things they showed me, but I really wanna talk about just everything I experienced with the Apple Vision Pro. And it's hard for me to ever say, hey, spend $3,500 on a product, but for those of you in the comments that are just immediately saying, it's not worth it, is buying $3,000 of sneakers worth it? Maybe for some people, maybe for not. It just all comes down to how you spend your money. So let's just get into it. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. I just got out. Let's talk about this. So the first thing they did is they had us go over to this new, kind of basically made a building that they made specifically to show off these demos off an Apple Park, kind of near the basketball courts. It was like a big white square, and then they wouldn't let us shoot inside there either, but I got a nice external shot. But inside, the first step I did is to get me set up or to get me kind of onboarded, I did two things. I did a face scan, just kind of like almost similar to a Face ID scan where you turn your head around and that green halo shows off when it gets all the angles. That was to help with sizing for the different, kind of like, I can't remember what they called the interior, but the light spill, kind of like that face mask that's on the inside, that was to kind of scan my overall face size. Then they also did the spatial audio scan where you turn your ear left, you turn your ear to the right, just so they can get an idea of the shape of your ear to optimize this for spatial audio. So that was the first thing. Then after that, we went finally to a demo room. It was just me, two Apple reps, and the headset. And like, when you see something like this, when you've seen all the VR headsets that are out there today, the ID, the design, and actually being able to feel it and touch it, it was incredible. It just weighs at just a little over 1 pound. They have different modular straps, so we've seen in some of the earlier shots when I got to see it on the show floor. Before I experienced it, you have that kind of material, that kind of flexible material that wraps. You can adjust it with the dial. That was there, but they also had like an additional head strap to tie in, and that made a difference just for distributing the weight a little better for myself. But they made it sound like there will be some different offerings and sizings for that to make it really comfortable. Now, before I get into this, I wanted to kind of point out before this, there's a few things that Apple, for me, needed to hit for me to walk away going like, holy this is amazing. First of all, the best fidelity I've ever seen in a headset. I was hoping to see that going into it. The most comfortable and lightest headset that I felt because the battery pack is external. New experiences and unique experiences that you can't get anywhere else. And so those are kind of the three pillars in the top of my mind that I was wanted to see, and an easy to use OS and software. So let's start off with, they showed me a Photos app, and I'm gonna say using this device, it is so freaking natural. Yes, you use your speech, you use hand gestures, and you use your eyes. We set it up with eye motion tracking. If you're similar to the PSVR 2, they have an eye tracking system. What's different here is like, it's the Apple aesthetic. It's super clean. As you look around and pause on these dots to track your eyes, they're different colors. It's almost kind of like Zen-like. And so that was really nice. Then also, we use our hand gestures. Most of it is literally to select things, you just pinch, but you don't have to like deliberately pinch in a specific spot in front of your face. I was like chilling on this couch. I was pinching down low. I was pinching up high. I was pinching left. I was pinching right. I didn't want to think about it to see if it worked. And the UI and interface and how it communicates is so good. I was like, this is something that my mama could pick up in 5 minutes if she was doing virtual reality. And then just by scrolling, you pinch, you right, You move left or right, you pinch, you scroll up and down. It is smooth like butter. Also, overall, just gazing at objects and then just doing a little pinch to select it. It was really, really good. I think the biggest thing is at the top, if you kind of look off at the very top border, it pulls up things like your notifications and a control center-like interface. They didn't want to get into it too much, but I did find that maybe when I calibrated the eyes, this is a pre-production model, maybe I didn't gaze high enough at the height, because sometimes that would come up, but it wasn't a big thing. It wasn't like something that killed the experience, but the way it feels, the UI is so amazing. The headset itself, I will say, it is a little over 1 pound. It did start feeling a little heavy on my face over time. This is not a super, super light headset, but you will feel the weight, and over time they told me to, hey, adjust the head strap on top, get a little tighter to distribute the weight better. That did help, but I got to experience it maybe for like 30, 40 minutes. I don't know if I could really comfortably watch a 2-hour movie in it yet. I'm just not sure if I can do that or not. Interacting with it, I was just laughing. I'm like, this is stupid. And they were like, hey, we're just starting. And I just kept on saying, this is stupid. It was incredible. So we got to check out the photo apps where it showed kind of like different highlights or moments. And when I'd gaze, a photo would kind of like lighten up a little bit. Just like, I think it needs to be a little more deliberate, but when you stare at photos, where you gazed at, it would show up, and then you just pinch to select it. You got to look at photos. I got to scroll around with my finger. I got to pinch in to blow them up. And I think the other really amazing thing here is the ability to take photos and videos using with the headset on. I don't know if I'm going to like just walk around the home and do it, but now that I saw what they look like, the 3D nature, the immersive nature, it's pretty compelling, especially if you have pets or kids or things of that nature. It's amazing. They didn't tell me the resolution of what the actual picture or video was, but it was more like a square size, and it faded off to the edges, but that you could see multiple layers of depth, and it looked incredible. So the photos gallery, that was a cool, cool experience. You got to play with spatial photos and videos where I talk about the 3D one. If we're talking about multitasking, this was being able to like experience different apps at the same time. I've worked with certain apps that did like a spatial workspace, and again, the clarity and the I didn't need to talk about this more, but the clarity and the fidelity of this headset is unlike anything you've seen before. They talk about 23 million pixels, 4K resolution each eye. You have never seen anything as clean as this in your eyes. I asked them about what resolution and what refresh rate they're doing. They would not comment on that and said there will be more details later. So there's obviously things that they want to show off, but this was all about the experiences. Multitasking, Safari browser. I ran like messages, and then just by learning how to gaze, pinch to select, and then pinch and hold to scroll up and down. I told you, I sound like a fanboy. I swear I'm not. This was just something I'd never experienced before, and just how smooth and buttered it is. They also had environment. So this was like, transporting yourself to places like Mount Hood, or I think Iceland was another, just kind of this great wraparound environment that you see. Felt immersive, really cool. Again, there's gonna be a lot of experiences here, but I'm gonna make sure I talk about everyone, so just that you understand like how you feel. But the digital crown also lets you control your level of immersion. So how much, it starts maybe here, and as you expand it, it's kind of soft and fade on the edges. It goes over to your peripherals, wraps around. It's nice. I mean, I'm not gonna use that all the time, but it was nice. You got mindfulness, which is like a 1-minute meditation demo, and the visuals and the voice of Jessica, like I recognize her right away. She's one of the Apple Fitness, I think it's like the yoga or stretching channels that I do. And these cool rainbow teardrops that were coming at me. I wanted to go to sleep because it was so calm, but again, really immersive. The whole thing goes dark. You're just like, I don't know, this is stupid, it's insane. Okay, let's talk about FaceTime now. My biggest reaction was them showing about how we did not set this up for ourselves, but when you first set up your Apple Vision Pro, you create a digital persona. You hold the camera, it scans your face, and then with the 12 cameras and the sensors inside and the eye motion tracking, it basically creates a digital avatar of you that represents you, but it looks really good. And what I mean by that is I've never seen a better digital avatar representation ever in any platform. And I talked to an Apple rep who was showing me like a cool presentation with Freeform, and if I get the names wrong, sorry, my brain is all over the place. And when I first looked at her, it looked real, but I was like, I know it's not real, but she does look real. And so my brain was kind of like saying, it's kind of real, but it's kind of not. But as I talked to her more, it felt more natural. And I kind of then let go of the idea of that it was an avatar and it was her. And it's crazy. Like, there is no, I didn't feel like it was this uncanny valley where you have these dead eyes. Everything from like subtle smiles, subtle facial motions, the texture of her skin, you could kind of see like, like a little bit of freckles, and the way her eyes move, like she was looking at me and I'm like, damn, you can see when you hold your hands up, there's like a hand scan that happens. You could see when her hands were interacting and gesturing with me. It is next level stuff, the way they're able to create this digital persona, and you can use it and interact with it, whether it's over FaceTime calls, showing off presentations. I was like, it was crazy stupid. Okay, let's talk about some of the demo experiences. They showed us Avatar 2, Way of Water in 3D, up close, in your face, like the home theater experience. Oh, it's really good. Like I said in my earlier first take and my early reactions without using it, hey, this could replace your home theater. And I am sticking with that after they showed me a demo of Avatar 3D, and then also like this area where they kind of black it out in your home theater. You feel like you're in a movie theater. Again, it's a 4K resolution. It looks clean. It feels immersive. You get spatial sound. Look, you might be a single person who wants to watch movies by yourself, and yeah, this is not going to be for the family, but if you are that person and you have that cash, it's an incredible home theater option. Let's just put it that way. And then 180 degrees. Now, I talked about unique experiences, and they had Apple immersive video. So I asked the team, and they couldn't give me a direct answer, but we know a few years ago that they acquired NextVR, and if you aren't familiar with them, look them up online. They were virtual reality immersive experiences, whether it's concerts, whether it's sporting events, and they would place this camera. At the time, I think it was like a 1080p resolution, so you could feel the immersion, but the image quality wasn't just there yet. Well, Apple showed this off, whether it was a basketball game, a soccer game, someone was rock climbing, someone was tight roping, sharks, swimming with sharks. And when you talk about unique experiences that make you feel something, Apple immersive video makes you feel something. They didn't, this is gonna be content that is exclusive to this headset from Apple. And when I talk about unique experiences, this nailed it. And there's gonna be so much more of that. I cannot wait. They also then showed us finally an app called Encounter Dinosaurs, where all of a sudden the screen could detect the far wall. It filled it out, or the app could, and then a dinosaur kind of came and interacted with it. I put out my finger, this little butterfly, landed on my stupid finger. It landed on my finger, and I was just like, this is crazy. So this is scratching the surface. We're just starting. The UI and the user experience is incredible. That's already, to me, even in a pre-production model, a 9.5 out of 10. The immersive nature and the unique experiences, that's, 9.5, 10 out of 10. At the same time, I might be saying that maybe it is 10 out of 10 because my mind was freaking blown. I've never experienced anything like this. The Apple Vision Pro was just amazing. Let me just pull up a few factoids because there's so much information that people want to know. Yes, it did have the tethered battery connected to it. That battery will go up to over 2 hours depending on the experience, but they said that they will give us more details depending on the use case, how that will happen. Again, I mentioned no refresh rate for the actual displays that we're seeing, but they did confirm that it does support HDR, and again, just over £1. The big thing here also that they really wanted to emphasize when they talked to us is about the latency. Now, we didn't get a game on this at all, and for me, I get sick inside of VR for a lot of the motion moving games. Well, we talk about this 12 millisecond latency, which is almost like instant, and that is one thing that I'll need to see in the future with certain games. When I'm standing and just doing things, I'm good. I'm not gonna get sick. But if I'm moving around in an environment or world with some of those VR games, I get sick. And even if I typically get sick right in the first 5 minutes, if I can even last half an hour, 40 minutes in a game, I might play it longer. So we'll see how that happens, but it's all about the power of the M2 and then that R2 processor working in tandem to deliver us high fidelity. I cannot tell you how clear this is. I just can't. I've never seen a headset that looks this clear. It's amazing. So again, this headset will be $3,499. It's going to be available early next year. They just scratched the surface. I feel like they showed me 10% of what this is capable of. I can't wait to see what app developers do with this. I can't wait to see what Apple does with this. I can't wait to see what games are on here. And, you know, let's say this was like a pre-production. Is this like version 1.0? Think about this 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. I'm going to tell you right now, the technology is there. The responsiveness and the smoothness, it's there. And it can get better, but at the same time, we've never seen anything like this. I've never experienced anything like this. My mind is blown. I sound like a fanboy, but when they've been working on this, 8 to 10 years, I've been talking so much, but this is incredible. I had to shoot a video and come to Apple Visitor Center HQ at, what is it now? 10:18 p.m. because I was so juiced about this. And ultimately, you're gonna decide if this is great for you. But this is one of those things that no matter what I say, no matter what anyone says, until people can try this at home or try these demos at a store for themselves, then they're gonna be walking away like, I get it. Like, I was just saying like, oh shit, I did a little jig because, you know, this is what it's all about. This is why I love tech. This is why we all love tech, to experience new things. It's up to you to choose if you want to, you know, throw down for that. It's hard for me to say wholeheartedly, you've got to spend $3,500. I will never say that. Like, that's up for you to decide. But when I talk about those tent poles that I wanted to hit, was it an amazing experience? Yes. Comfort-wise, I did feel like it did get heavy over time. So that's, to me, still a TBD. But did it deliver experiences that I have never experienced before? Yes. Was the user interface and, you know, usability and UX, was that on point? That was freaking incredible. And this is the highest fidelity headset that we have ever seen and is way, way ahead of anything we've seen. I mean, I've tried on pretty much every VR headset, like, yes. So 3 of those 4 were checked off. The comfort is what I'm gonna be thinking about in the future, but it is so damn good that I can give it a little pass on the comfort. I mean, it felt as heavy as other headsets in general. I haven't looked at specs. I mean, I just got out of there, but all I'm gonna tell you is Apple Vision Pro is the truth. Whether you want to buy it or not, this is like, is there something better than like Chef's Kiss? Like, I don't know. Like, I was joking like, whoo, the gospel has touched me. And the gospel, the word, is Apple Vision Pro. It was that amazing. And I don't know, you're gonna have to see what other people say, but mind blown, incredible. Apple Vision Pro. Yes, I'm a tech reviewer. I'm gonna buy it to review the tech. Would I buy it for myself? Honestly, I still can't 100% say that, but they got me right on the edge. It's crazy. All right, more videos coming from WWDC 23. Freaking A. Freaking A. I'm laughing still thinking about it. Like, I'm juiced, I'm giddy. Okay, I'll stop. All right. Later, y'all. Peace and love.